Welcome to Murder and Everything Else. My name is Joy.
And my name is Cheryl. Joy and I are two very old friends who love to talk about murder and everything else.
Cheryl, this is our second episode of 2026. And I'm here to give a little PSA. Okay, there's going to be a theme, and it's called advice, motivation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the thank you note. Okay, folks.
This is a new segment.
If there's anyone out there with small children who's
retractions
listening, no.
Thank you notes.
I'm just going to say, if there's anyone out there with small children who are listening to this, teach your children how to write a thank you note. For the love of God.
Or say thank you.
And what it entails is buying blank cards or just getting a Post-it note or some scrap of paper writing, thank you so much for sending me blah. Put it in an envelope and send it off. And you know what? You can even text a thank you.
Yes.
And you can email a thank you. You don't even have to send it in the mail.
I don't think you have to send it in the mail.
Did you know that I read this morning as I was reading my morning devotional news feed? Which, by the way, is not a devotional more than it's a news feed, but I call it my morning devotional. The country of Denmark has officially ended all snail mail. They're removing all those like legendary royal red mailboxes that people used to put the mail in, post boxes. They have completely removed it. Everything will be electronic from here on out.
Is that possible to not have
Look it up.
mail?
I was shook. I read the whole article because I was like, this has to be a joke. So don't even send a letter in the mail. Stamps cost money. Fucking text her.
Okay, so you just went against your own advice of sending a thank you note.
Send a thank you somehow. Saying thank you goes a long way.
Yes.
And you know what? When my kids were little, I would say, they would go, I want some goldfish crackers. And I would go, what do you say? Please? Then I would get it and I would hand it to them. And then I would say, what do you say? Thank you. I've lost count of how many times my children got out of like a ride share or carpool or a situation and said thank you, and had people come to me and say, your children said thank you. It was so nice.
Yeah.
That little thing went a long way.
Well,
so
I'm still
kids how to say fucking thank you.
Okay. Do you think that we could do that here in the U.S. and not have snail mail?
Oh, I thought you meant here at the podcast and say, so thank you for listening and good night.
We say thank you every episode.
I don't think so because we have such giant sticks up our asses. We're like, I'm a nonconformist. I'm a rebel. I'm a vigilante. I'm a warrior. I'm a pioneer woman. We're just so weird. I'm in a wagon train going to Missouri.
Well, and then you wouldn't have any of your junk mail that you love so much.
I love mail. Guys, send us some mail. Send us some mail. Anyway, we don't have any retractions yet because it's only episode 2 of season 4. So anyway, I just want to talk a little bit about Cheryl turning me on to the Netflix documentary, Evil Influencer, the Jodi Hildebrand story. We did an episode on Ruby Franke, who is serving time for aggravated child abuse, among other charges. And her partner on this like connections business, her partner was a therapist, and she had this Mormon-led or heavily Mormon-esque business called Connections, where she helped people with their marital problems, etc. And she was a life coach. Anyway,
helped.
I have started watching it. It's interesting. We'll probably do a second episode on that.
Yeah.
But what I did want to say is I stumbled on this article where it was about Jody Hildebrand. It talked about how she's doing the same stuff in prison that she was doing out of prison. She's seeking vulnerable inmates. She's actively looking for women with known addictions or vulnerabilities. She's forming groups. She's created small exclusive groups of women similar to her Connections life coaching program. She continues to coach them. She attempts to counsel these women within the prison structure, mirroring the same psychological techniques she used to isolate and abuse children and former clients. And prosecutors have expressed concern that if she's released, she could pose a significant risk by gathering new followers. And her former niece, Jessie, who has come out and talked about how because she used to live with her.
Yes, she was abused.
She described her methods as psychological warfare and has said that she considers her extremely dangerous because she believes her own insanity. And just for those of you who don't know, she's currently serving her sentence at the Utah State Correctional Facility and is scheduled for her first parole hearing in December of this year, 2026.
That'll be interesting.
Anyway, Cheryl, you got any updates for our listeners?
I do. You've reminded me that I have updated my death row meal.
What is this, a penis cot?
No one's ever...
Wouldn't be an episode if we didn't say penis.
Focus. I think that my death row meal has got to be ramen. And I'm actually surprised that I didn't go with ramen in the first place.
Well, you went with shrimp scampi, which is a pasta with shrimp.
Yeah, because I love noodles. But I'd have to go. I think I'd do ramen. Just ramen.
I think ramen is a really, really good death row meal.
Well, thank you for approving my death row meal.
Ramen makes me real gassy and full of salt, and you're going to die the next day anyway, so you might as well go out with a bang, as they say. Anyway, rolling on to shout outs. Guys, I'm not high. I have a shout out to 2026. You know that this is the year of the fire horse. And
never heard of it.
So for me, 2025 was the year of the candle because I got really into candles. But what I've decided is 2026 will be the year of international travel. And on that note, we have a new country to add to our growing list of countries. We're up to 36 countries. And guess which country it is?
No idea.
Pakistan. And
wow, are you kidding?
Now I'm going to welcome Pakistani
I can't wait for this.
In Urdu, which is the official language of Pakistan, and it's Kush Ahmadid. And did you know that Pakistan has 70 to 80 languages spoken, including 68 indigenous tongues that include Punjabi, Pashto, Sindhi, Saraiki, Balochi, but Urdu and English are the official languages.
Oh, I've heard of Punjabi.
It's so interesting.
I thought that was Indian. Yeah,
Indian or Pakistani, because when those country lines were drawn.
I feel a retraction coming on.
When those country lines were drawn, people were separated, much like North and South Korea. Any hoots. Cheryl, you got any shout outs?
I do. I have a shout out for people behind the scenes. I watched... I know it was from last year, but Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, the Super Bowl halftime show. Mm-hmm. And I watched the behind the scenes of what it took to put that show on. And it is no small feat. And people don't realize how much work it is. And it's live.
How do you have time to do this? I literally watched one thing during the entire Christmas break, and it was the P. Diddy documentary.
Go out of the house and do things, and I don't. Anyway, it was fascinating.
I swear to God.
It was fascinating.
I think she's a vampire. I don't think she sleeps.
And
I think sometimes I go in her room, and she's laying with her feet up the wall. I think she sleeps upside down.
And... I highly recommend watching it because I don't think people realize how much work went into it. And they had to set up the entire thing. Remember, he had 4 stages. Mm-hmm. They had to set it up during the commercial. So they have all these volunteers. And it rained. So they had to cover everything. And they had all these volunteers.
Oh, it rained. Where was it? In Florida?
I don't remember.
It's just like people don't know how much work goes into this. Like, for example, I had to put on makeup today because we're like on camera.
That's not
Girls
hard.
on film.
Shout out to people behind the scenes, you guys. You actually have no idea. You have no idea what goes into shows. And there's so many behind the scenes footage out there. But if you liked that Super Bowl halftime with Kendrick Lamar, you have to check it out. It's on YouTube.
Guys, listen, one of our most favorite episodes that we have done every season.
It's my favorite.
It's Cheryl's favorite. And she got so excited the first time we did this. And she has kept a running list so that she would have one. But we're back with number 4 in our Pet Peeves episodes.
So back by popular demand, by our popular demand.
And remember, we've done a Pet Peeves in every season 1, 2, and 3. And so this is our 4th Pet Peeves. And we still have lists of Pet Peeves, which is so nice.
I have lists. I have an ongoing list.
I love that we're starting out the year with our Pet Peeves. It's like you're Karen 1 and I'm Karen 2.
Well, funnily enough, you wanted to do it as soon as Christmas, as soon as the holidays were over. So I think her Pet Peeves are going to be holiday themed.
Yes. But we're going to start with Cheryl. And what we're going to do is Cheryl's going to tell you one of her Pet Peeves, go into a little detail on that. And then I'm going to chase her with mine, and we're going to go back and forth and ping pong our Pet Peeves until we feel like we've covered enough ground. How about that? Okay. So take it away, Cheryl.
Well, I have a problem with bathrooms, especially public bathrooms. So I'm going to talk about my pet peeves in the public restroom. So it's not going to be just one. I'm going to be like Joy, and I'm going to use updates and do 20 of them in one topic. So I cannot stand. My pet peeve is when you go into the stall and the toilet seat is wet.
Ew.
And you can't tell if it's because someone squatted before you or the water like sprayed
splashed up. Yeah.
Either way, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do? Do you take the toilet paper and clean it off?
Yeah. And then put it.
But it also makes you feel a certain way, because if it was just water splashing, it's gross because it's poop water or pee water. And if it's pee that splashed, it's even grosser because it's someone else's pee. But have you ever wiped it and you didn't wipe it completely, and then you sit down and it's still
and then
damp?
it comes through the tissue. And the other thing is when there's no seat covers. I think that every public restroom should have seat covers, because then I have to do the toilet paper thing, and if there's wind blowing,
I never use seat covers.
I know you don't. Also,
and you know what I do when it's a dirty seat?
You squat.
I stand on the seat and squat.
Oh, wow.
Well, I used to when I was younger. Now that I'm older,
you probably fall off.
I just bend over and squat. I don't touch the seat with my bum.
But then it goes everywhere. I don't know.
And maybe that's why it was wet to start out with.
Right. Because I went to the bathroom after you. The other thing I can't stand is my pet peeve, and it's when there's no soap in the restroom.
Wait, is this 2 pet peeves?
No, I said I had a category. It was public restrooms. I don't like when the toilet seat is wet, when there's no seat covers, and when there's no soap. Especially in a restaurant. I'm like, they should be checking that shit to see if there's soap.
I tell the waiter or waitress, I'll say, just so you know, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom stall, or there's no soap in the bathroom. Because a lot of public restrooms now say, like, this was cleaned on the back of the door and the time, and it'll have initials. And part of the rating that restaurants get, like A, B, C percentage rating, is based off of also the bathroom cleanliness.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad that comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I never had to go to the bathroom.
Well, I love that was your first one. So I'm going to chase your first one with my bathroom related pet peeve.
Oh.
Which is my number 1 pet peeve in season 4 is people who don't flush the toilet after they've gone poop.
That should have been mine. You stole mine. I didn't want to out anybody.
Okay, listen here, folks.
Whew.
If you or your children are letting things happen in the bathroom that involve elimination. And again, I remember, as I say this, I'm a nanny. So I do a lot of bum wiping, a lot of flushing, a lot of washing my hands. There is an age that it is appropriate that children don't flush the toilet. And that's because they can't reach the flusher and or they're still having their bums wiped and they're being lifted up and pulled off the toilet. One of the things that automatic flushing toilets have done is it's traumatized children because they're so little that it flushes while they're going, and it's it's a vigorous flush and it scares them.
Wait, that's another pet peeve is when the automatic flusher goes off while you're sitting on it.
So I will cut a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or even
but
a
not
4-year-old,
a 19 or 23-year-old.
But if you're a grown-ass adult, and I mean anything over 6, and you're not flushing the toilet, there is something wrong.
Especially if you're sharing the bathroom with someone you don't know.
No, if you're sharing the bathroom with anyone.
It's like you can't, if you're living by yourself.
Even if that person is Stevie Wonder and he can't see what's floating in there.
It wasn't floating. It was so heavy it was stuck to the toilet bowl.
Anyway, now that we've covered the poop portion of the podcast, let's move on to number 2.
We can move on to happier pet peeves. I hate dry, cracked heels.
I thought you were going to say something.
What?
I don't know. I thought you were going to say dry.
Cracked bums.
I don't know. But my God, I'm glad you went to heels.
Don't you hate when your heels are cracked?
No, because I don't have to deal with them.
Because she has someone rub her heels.
I love me some pedicures.
And you know what? Let's not discriminate. It's not only the heels. I don't like when my fingers are cracked because they're so dry and they start splitting and I have to cover it with a bandage for a while, Band-Aid, and Neosporin until it starts closing again.
Do you have some cracked heels right now or something? You want to show me some of those dogs?
Anyway,
let's let those dogs out. Let's see.
So one time I told my friend Priscilla, "Hey Priscilla in California,"
hey, Priscilla.
And I had her
No, you're not listening.
I had her cracking up. I bought this yoga. It wasn't a mat. It was like a towel because my sister had one and I saw it in a picture and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to get one of those." My heels were so dry and cracked that when I bent my knees, it caught onto the towel and it would bring the towel
up. Gross. But you know what? I feel like after you left Arizona, your heels should have become sufficiently supple again.
Joy, so it was humid in the summer, and then when it got cold, there's no humidity. So yes, my dry heels are back. My cracked heels.
Well, if you put lotion on your feet and put socks on, it's supposed to keep them very soft and supple. That's why when I get back from seeing Tommy John, I always put these nice socks on.
Well,
in the summer, I get cracked heels.
Oh, in the summer, it's so humid.
I know, but it's dry.
Weird. Okay.
Because I'm indoors a lot,
That doesn't make sense, but okay.
Anywho. All right. My number 2, Cheryl, is decorations that stay up past December 31st. I get it. It takes a lot of work for those decorations to be brought out and hung up and the lights and blah, blah, blah. Take your effing Santa and your lights and your effing tree and put them away and your wreaths. It's no longer...
I hope none of your neighbors listen to this because some of them are
I'm pretty
guilty.
sure they don't. But it's okay. You got the whole month of December and even half of November. I don't care if you put them up on November 1st.
There's something about after.
Yeah.
It's
it depresses me because it's the holidays are over, damn it. The sales are not happening anymore. The hustle and bustle. And also the other thing is, in conjunction with that, turn off the Christmas music. When you go into store and it's January 2nd, nobody wants to be hearing jingle bell, jingle bell. Just turn it off. It's over. It's done. We've got a break now. We got a 10-month break, 11 months. If you're me, let's let it lie.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I'm so glad.
The lead up to Christmas is fun. So you can put it out early and there's that anticipation of Christmas. But once it happens,
Yeah.
you're like done.
And also there's the lazy days after where you're still kind of basking in the like, no one's working, you're laying around, you're scratching your pubes, you're dealing with your cracked heels. You're just enjoying, you know, the time that you have to not really be productive. But then life kicks into gear and you just, let's get rid of that shit. All right. What's your number 3?
Okay, I think you can, you're going to agree with this because even though the kitchen is not a place that I spend a lot of time in, I have lived in many places and it seems to be a problem unless you're living in a mansion. My pet peeve is, and it's not just for the kitchen. I didn't say kitchen. It's just not having enough cupboard space or storage space. And you have to do workarounds where you're stacking stuff up. You know, you're stacking your cups and your pots and pans.
My kitchen is so small.
But I've lived like that.
You notice I don't have hardly any appliances. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of women, like for example, Vinka has like crock pots that you plug in and coffee grinders and all kind of
Ninjas.
appliances.
Air fryer.
I don't have any.
I know,
because
'cause
I
you don't
don't
have
have
to-
anywhere to put them.
But you've done a good job, like the way you have your pots and pans. You have a single layer. You don't have it all stacked up, your pots and pans.
But I also had to get rid of a lot because we have no space.
That's because I can't stand. I've lived places where you have to pull stuff
everything,
out to
yeah.
get to the back
So
of it.
annoying.
And that is my pet peeve. I hate it so
And
much.
also, if I don't use it to, like, I bought this flat pan to warm up tortillas on. I have not used it. Guess what? That thing's going to the thrift store. I have a theory. If you don't wear something in 6 to 9 months or you don't use it, you're probably never going to use it.
Yeah.
Probably not at all.
No,
Ever.
not until you won't want it until it's gone. That's happened to me. I've gotten rid of something I didn't wear for like ever, and then I was gonna do something, and I was thinking, oh, that shirt would be perfect, and then I'm like, yeah, that shirt is gone. 'Cause
Like
you
also
had it.
even like the kitchen towels. I love kitchen towels, but I don't have anywhere to put them. So you notice I
know.
have 4 or 5, and I have Vinka has 400. But she has a huge kitchen and she has a whole island in the middle. It's great for entertaining. I love cooking in her kitchen because she has so much space. One of the things I find very frustrating is cooking in my kitchen because it's very limited space. I would love to have an island where I could chop things and turn around and like, but if we put an island in the middle of the kitchen, you wouldn't be able to.
We'd have to climb over it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be, and also
No.
it would be useless because the whole point of an island is you could also sit there and make your shopping list or look at a cookbook or what. No, you trip over something and die. So
Imagine
my
being-
next kitchen will be bigger with more storage.
Yeah, I just feel like when they design apartments, condos, homes, they forget about the towels in the kitchen. There should be a linen closet in the kitchen because you've got towels and aprons and this and that.
And you've got tablecloths and table runners. Thank God the laundry room has that extra space because you know that's where I keep table runners. That's where I keep all of my like we have very little space for even like plastic bags and things like the plastic wrap.
That's the other thing. They need a drawer that holds all of the plastic bags, the saran wrap,
and all that shit is oversized.
But the pots and the pans, someone has to come up with something where you don't have to stack them on top of each other.
or hang them on the
That's
wall.
why I don't want to cook.
What I do love is I love
discovered-
those bars they put on like a side of a fridge or on a on the backsplash where you can hang your knives.
but then I'm thinking
I
about the
think
dust.
I think about the murderer that comes in, and this is your
It's
fault.
easy access
at night,
to a knife.
and they are looking around, and then they see the knives hanging on the wall, and they're like,
Like,
"Oh,
I
I could
can
kill
use
the
this."
family by using this knife." So, anywho, that's actually a really good pet peeve. You want to know what my number 3 is?
Yes, I do.
People who say Happy New Year's instead of Happy New Year. It's not New Year's. It's Happy New Year because you're saying you're going from one year to the next year. You're not going from the 1 years to the next years.
So you would be mad if I said Happy New Year's insurances?
No, I wouldn't be mad. I would just say I don't think she realizes that it's Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's
Unless they're
Happy
saying
New
Happy
Year's.
New Year's Eve, then
Right.
it would be
then
appropriate.
you can say New Year's Eve, but you don't say welcome to welcome to the new. You can say like welcome to our New Year's party.
Right, yeah.
But you don't. But that denotes ownership. The New Year's party,
Right,
the party
right, possessive.
on New Year's.
Yeah,
but when you say
you don't count
Happy
down
New
and
Year,
go 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year's.
Yeah, you don't say Merry Christmases.
Maybe some countries do.
I don't know. I also feel like, in the past when we did pet peeves, we did like supposedly instead of supposedly.
And library.
And library instead of library. Now, I will say that there are regionalities, like, for example, if you're born in a certain area and, like I said, our neighbors say the word axe instead of ask, and they grew up in Puerto Rico, and I think that's the way they said it. And that's how they learned to say it. And so
And
they
all the
taught
Puerto
that to their
Ricans
son.
that are listening are
Yeah.
going, what the fuck is she talking about? We don't say it like that.
If you're from Puerto Rico and you grew up saying
How
ask
dare
instead
you.
of ask, could you reach out and let us know? Because I feel like that is a regional
because
thing.
you've just insulted all of our Puerto Ricans
everywhere.
listeners. Well, can I piggyback on yours because it's one of mine.
Okay.
Yours is New Year's, and mine is the misuse of the word whenever. I was listening to a trial, and this is the first time, this was a few years ago, and my ears were hurting because they were saying things like, whenever I went to McDonald's this morning.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you said that once in our updates.
No, did I? Well,
Yeah.
I'm saying it again. It's such a big pet peeve that I'm bringing it back. I don't, and that I think is a regional thing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
It's
but
just like here they'll say Mike could. Like, I might could have bought that truck, but instead I bought the smaller one. And it's like, I had never heard anyone use might could in a sentence right next to each other.
Yeah,
And I was like, might could. I was like, that is crazy, but I've heard it a lot here.
yeah. When I went to the store this morning, whenever I went to the store this morning, I'm like,
That's
please
interesting.
stop it.
That is really interesting. Yeah, maybe it is a colloquialism for certain areas, like maybe the South. I don't know.
I don't know, but it hurts my ears.
I bet you get it a lot at your work, huh? Because you really are like, fielding people from all walks of life. And,
I haven't heard anybody say it yet.
next time you do, could you yell at them?
Yes, I'm
be
going to
awesome.
correct them.
Yeah, can we use you on our podcast? Anyway, guys, this next one, everybody who is a vegan or vegetarian is going to totally agree with my number 4. Restaurants that only offer angel hair pasta with roasted vegetables or Impossible burgers as vegetarian or vegan
Yeah.
options. Could we please, it's 2026, could we please branch out and offer people something other than angel hair pasta with sun-dried tomatoes and capers and
Ooh, I love that. That
fucking
sounds
fresh
delicious.
basil, and also, yeah, I love it too, but I don't want it on every menu. It's so aggravating to go out and want a vegetarian option, and they got 2 things. They got the Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger, and then they got the angel hair pasta. It's like, no, I'm sorry. There's so many other options for people who are going meat free.
Well, I guess you should just be glad that they even have something. Or you can order.
No, because they've got plenty of like steak and filet mignon and duck and goat and turkey and ham.
What
and
would you
pork.
like them to have?
They could have like, I don't know, like something with garbanzos. They could have something with a mushroom steak. Like, those shiitake, not is it
Portobello.
Portobello mushrooms. If I worked at a place where they would soak them in red wine and then sear them, they were so meat-like, and they would top them with like caramelized onions, and like it was so delicious. And it was a meaty sized portion.
Yeah.
And you would feel very, very safe. And it would be accompanied with like scalloped potatoes or something. There's so many options for vegetarian
That's
things.
true.
You could make a vegetarian lasagna. You could make a hearty stew of some type. I make, like, ask Cheryl, guys. I make soup all winter long. It's one of my favorite things to make. And there's so many different kinds of hearty soups that you can make. Minestrone and broccoli cheddar and corn chowder and black bean chili. And I mean, it's like there's so much shit out there. And you can make like, what do you call it? Teriyaki tofu. You could do yakisoba. You could do so many good meals.
Well, I would really like to put out a public pleading for McDonald's to have a vegetarian option. Like Burger King has the Impossible Whopper, and it's really good. And I don't always like to have meat, even though I'm not a vegetarian, so I wish McDonald's would have a...
And also, not everybody wants filet of fish all the time.
Right.
I think that's actually a really good, maybe like a rice burger, or how about a sashimi burger? Anyway.
At McDonald's? Yeah.
That's where I want to go to get my
raw meat, my raw fish.
McDonald's. All right, what's your number 5, Cheryl?
Okay.
Damn, we are flying through this list, aren't we?
Okay, besides the whole, like, not having enough cupboard space and having to move stuff around I hate workarounds. I hate having
reach arounds. Cheryl hates the reach around.
No, I don't like workarounds. Where you have to, like, Jimmy rig something together.
Jimmy rig something together. Give me an example.
Like when my zipper broke and then I used a safety pin. It's for the zipper pull. The zipper pull broke up. The actual thing that you hold on to, but the zipper part that goes up and down was still intact. So then I just put a safety pin on.
Why not just throw them away and get another pair?
Of the whole jacket or whatever it is?
Oh, I thought you were talking about storage in the kitchen. All of a sudden you've gone to pants.
No, I said like having to move. Anyway, it's a workaround. So I put a safety pin on there instead of like.
So you're an intolerant person is what you're saying.
I am very intolerant.
That's so funny. I actually don't mind the workaround.
Yeah,
but also, I'm actually pretty crafty. Like with a needle and thread. You're pretty crafty too. I've seen you like fix those fuck me dresses so that the straps aren't long, falling off and stuff. Guys, Cheryl has an entire collection of like strappy 90s. And when we used
they're not 90s.
Guys, when we used to do this podcast from 2 different states and locations on this planet, Cheryl used to wear them.
Because
she was living in the 7th ring of hell, otherwise known as Arizona. I'm sorry, people of Arizona. Anywho, it was always hot there. You get like 20 minutes of cold weather, which is like 65 degrees, and then it goes back to hot. So she was always wearing these little dresses, and one day, and then I'd see her on like Skype or Zoom or whatever, and I was like, one day I was like, oh yeah, being all slinky in your fuck me dresses, and it just stuck. So now whenever she wears those dresses,
she's the only one that calls them that.
Fuck me dresses. No, that's not true. I'm gonna get everyone else to call them your fuck me dresses too. I am rolling on to my number 5. All right? Mm-hmm. Okay, buckle up, Buttercup, because guess what?
What?
The last 4 on my list are going to make you jump on my bandwagon with me. Ignoring text messages. When you get a text message that you don't like or don't understand or that seems confrontational in nature, don't just ignore it and not answer it. It shows how immature and childish you are. Answer the text message, or better yet, call the person who has just messaged you and find out what's wrong and work at fixing it. It only reflects poorly on the recipient of the text message and indicates their maturity level when they don't respond to text messages. You might think it's a way of ignoring someone or just tuning them out, but it comes off as petty and childish. Am I right?
Yes, exactly.
And also, I'll take it one step further. I have a child that is 19 years old. When I send a text message to this child, my child, they're obviously now considered an adult by societal standards, but they're my child. When I send this person texts, and maybe the way it's been written out may seem a little like bitchy or like confrontational or irritated, you know what they'll do? They'll call me right away and say, "What's up? I got your text message. I don't get it." Mm-hmm. I'm not saying if I send you like a TikTok video about a dog who's wearing little shoes and it's prancing around, I don't want you calling me back going, "What's that about?"
That's the only time I call.
But that's, you know what I mean? That's not, it would be like if I said, "Hey, what's going on with you today? I noticed you've been real bitch." Like, for you not to answer me for like 2 days. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. Like, obviously you'd be like, "Whoa," you know? I mean, and I feel like that's something also that is a generational thing, because nowadays conversations and business meetings and updates and whatever is all held, and interviews are all held through text message. Whereas when you and I were coming up, the way you worked through something was you had to sit. Remember when we do performance reviews and we'd have to sit down and tell people what their strengths and weaknesses are, and then they'd have to come back at us with what they felt like our strengths and weaknesses are, and we had to talk about areas of improvement. And those sometimes were difficult conversations, but I always felt like it was a really good opportunity to let somebody talk. Remember how you would say, "I hate these," and I'd be like, "I actually enjoy them." And we would talk about it, and you would say, "You're so good at that," because you take someone's negative and spin it so they don't feel. You used to say they come out of those meetings and they're happy.
Mm-hmm.
And
even though they got reprimanded.
They got reprimanded or reamed, or they didn't get a raise because their performance didn't equate one. And I was like, but this is an opportunity for them to also learn something about themselves and also give them something to work on, an area that they can focus on or whatever. It's also, as a manager, a good way for me to look back at myself and go, how can I work with this person to help elevate them so that they can get a raise, so they can do better, so it was also an area of opportunity that I could focus on myself and my people skills and my management skills. So I saw it as a very collaborative event.
That's so mature.
When you don't answer people's text messages, you're just being a shitty person. That's all it is. And it comes across as shitty. Mm-hmm. Now, if you come back 4 days later and say, "I'm sorry, I saw you just texted me," and but we're talking about young people who will filter through and only respond to what they want to and ignore all the rest of the shit. It's like, grow up. Respond to text messages. If you don't, people don't want to be around you because you're not somebody who has good communication. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. To me, it's just very black and white. You don't know how to communicate. You're probably really bad at it in person. You're even worse at it in text message. And now I don't want to talk to you.
But have you ever read a text message and thought, I'll respond to this later? Like you're in the middle of something. And then you forget.
Yeah. But a lot of times I'll go through my text messages and I'll, like, for example, this morning, I have a friend that I walk with in a community near here. And I just realized that she had messaged me about 2 weeks ago about walking after the holidays. And I was like, okay, holidays are over. I need to get back on that horse, as much as I hate going outside when it's cold. So I got to message her this weekend because I can walk with her on Monday. So I will say that, like, sometimes, you just jog people's memory, like, be like, "Hey," and that's fine too. But again, like, if somebody messages me something like, "This is really fucked up," or "I can't believe you did this," I call that person right away. What I don't like is I don't like leaving people hanging.
Yes. Or
ignoring. Address things.
I'm not going to be ignored, Dan.
But that's the other thing is, if you came to me with something serious, I want to discuss it now and get it out of the way and work on it. I don't want to put it off or pretend I don't want to pretend. Because life is, I don't know, maybe it has to do with my age. Life is short. We have less clicks on this planet than we've already spent. I don't want to spend the rest of my time on this planet, on my trips around the sun, fucking
and your
shit
international
up with people.
traveling.
Yeah. I want to like resolve things and enjoy things.
Well, now we are specifically talking about somebody who's very immature.
But we're also talking about, I am directing this at a specific instance that happened during the holidays. But I have noticed that it's also a generational thing. There are people in this age category, and they tend to be anywhere from like mid-teens to like late 20s, where that seems to be the acceptable form of communication.
You know what's so interesting? I don't have anyone in that age range that I text.
Oh my God.
That's so interesting.
Well, do you know any adults that do this? You must.
Yes.
See? And
They
it's
shall
infuriating.
remain nameless.
Cheryl, we've talked about it. It's infuriating because, like, so text messages have replaced conversation. You and I have lots of conversations.
Well,
but
because
that's
we're face to
we live
face.
together and we see each other all the
Because
time.
I don't like getting on the phone anymore,
Right.
like a lot of people.
But if you move away, I'm going to call your ass. I'm going to call your ass all the time.
You did when I was in Arizona.
I did. And you know what? She picked up.
I
I
did.
think it's because she knew. If she didn't, I just keep calling her. But no, seriously though, it is infuriating. So it's like having a one-sided conversation. And if it's somebody that you love or respect, or that you love and disrespect, it's still really like,
shitty.
it's frustrating.
It's passive aggressive. I
It's
know
so
that's
that's what it is.
overused, but it is very passive aggressive.
All right,
I
Cheryl,
know.
what's your number 6?
Okay, I know you're going to laugh at this because I've mentioned it to you before and you just kind of rolled your eyes. But ladies, can I get an amen that one of my pet peeves is removable pads in bras? Because
Oh, yeah, you've talked about this.
who wants to remove them every time you wash them? So you wash them with the pads in,
And they fall
and
out.
they are all crinkled when they come out. And if you let it dry like that, you can't get the crinkle out. You have to wash it again or iron it, which I am not. That's like ironing t-shirts. I refuse. I will not iron my bras. But I hate those removable pads. Like, why would I, if I want padding,
Okay, but-
why would I want to remove it at any point?
Okay, but I will also say that you and I belong to the itty bitty titty club. Whereas for ladies who are really endowed, I think they need those pads to like
No, I like the pads.
buckle in
I need the
buckle
pads.
in their nipples or something. I don't know.
No, I need the pads because I don't have, the
Well,
gift
I have
of...
perky nips almost all the time, and I don't care. I just take the pads out and throw them away. I'm like, you want to stare at my nips? It just means I'm cold.
Well, I think they should make padless bras and padded bras. And the padded one should not be removable.
Or you
They
could
get
buy
all
the ones that
crinkly.
have the nipples built in.
Anyway, I know there are women out there going, I know what you're talking about. They get all crinkled and they dry like that. And then when you're wearing something where you need it to be smooth,
She's rubbing. She's sitting there, guys. I know you can't see this, but as she's telling me this, she's sitting in her chair and she's rubbing her hands up and down her boobies, and I'm like, "What's happening right
No,
now?"
I think I returned a pair of bras because they were so crinkly.
Pair of bras. Is a bra a pair or a single?
I don't know.
Because you got a pair of chi-chis. So do you have pairs of bras?
Whenever I picked up my bras, they had crinkles. Anyway,
New
that's
Year's.
one. And let me tell you, I know that there are women out there going, amen. I know what you're talking about. They're all crinkled. And when you're wearing something well, it's not like I wear form-fitting, but where you can actually see
it.
crinkles.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just like when I used to put cotton balls
Tassels?
in my bras. You could see the lumps. I went to a party once when I was 12 with my brother, and he goes, "Joy's wearing a training bra," and then he goes, "And it's got cotton balls in it." And I looked down, and I had stuck 3 cotton balls in each side of my training bra, and you could see the lumps.
Did you watch Will and Grace?
Not religiously.
There is an episode where somebody turns Grace onto this bra that's padded with some kind of liquid. It's like a gel. You know, everything's gel
Right.
now. Well, she's at this art show, and somebody sticks her, like accidentally pokes her and is shooting out the liquid. Is shooting
God.
out. And I can't remember if it was Will or Jack is trying to help her cover it up. It is hysterical.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
that's funny.
that's my pet peeve about bras.
All right. Well, my list of pet peeves is real negative right now.
Well, that's what a pet peeve is. You're not going to have a pet peeve
rolling
about
on to
something
number
positive.
6. And number 6 is lazy and undisciplined people. If you don't have a job, get your ass up, get out, hit the pavement, look for work, pay your bills, and grow up. You're not going to have a job you love. That does not happen. And you will not like certain things about your job, and you will not like things that you have to do at your job, but that's a job. You're being paid to do that stuff. And when you're at home laying around scratching your pubes, that's not a job. So you can complain all you want to, and you don't have to like it, but look for another job if you don't like the one you're doing, but don't quit the old job until you have a new one. Show up on time, do the job you're being paid to do, and find things you can do to make it better. Improve yourself by going to school, getting training, growing, changing. That job's not going to change in dimension, or like it's not going to get better if you hate it. But you know what will change is if you change, then you can change your own outlook. And if your life is full of positive, fun things and events to look forward to, then the job will pale. And I'm just going to use an example.
I feel like she's talking to me. She's directing this at me.
No, like for example, my husband, I've talked about it in the past. He's a veterinarian. So he went to school for like 155,000 minutes and years. And guess what? So he's got a very specialized job. Because he even went to residency past vet school. A 3-year residency, by the way, which she's like boarded and blah, 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 and took all these exams for. So he has a very specific niche of being a veterinarian. There's shit at his job I'm sure he hates.
Oh, yeah.
That
like
he doesn't
sticking
like.
his hand in.
Exactly. But guess what?
Up animals' butts.
Or sitting through meetings all day long when you think, oh, I'm going to have a job where I play with like ferrets all day, and then you find out you have to sit through meetings. Like nobody wants to sit through meetings except for me. I'm just here to say that like you don't get to the place where you feel satisfied or enjoy, it's just like that saying, your first house is your investment house. It's not your dream house. Your first job or 6th job or 8th job is not your dream job. There's no such thing as a dream job. The job is something you do to get money. What you do is then you try to make your life full of things so that you're not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so turned off by lazy and undisciplined people. I quit my job, or I quit my job and I didn't have another job lined up, or I got fired from my job because I was fucking around and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, and I haven't found another job or a job that I like. When I was growing up, I had real like deficits in my abilities. Like, for example, I was very irresponsible with money, and I was at times not a very good friend to people, and learned through a series of like losing some friends along the way that maybe I needed to work harder at being a good friend, or learning what it meant to be a friend. Giving and taking and not talking about people or sharing their secrets, around, and not sleeping with their boyfriends and stuff like that. But one thing that I have always been really, really good at is I've always had a very strong work ethic, and I have always worked really hard, and I've always been extremely punctual. And those things are things that maybe because my mom was a single parent, and we've talked about this because your mom was too, that I had to pay for a lot of my own stuff. And also I couldn't put that burden on my mom. She worked hard, she had 2 jobs at different times, when she was trying to put 4 children through school. So I learned that life wasn't easy, and you didn't always end up doing the things that you love. But, that maybe just made me work harder so that I could, get to a place where I could find something that I loved, or something that I could handle while I was, filling my life in other areas with things that I love. Because I've had some really fucked up jobs. And luckily I have not had to date give hand jobs or upsies downsies anywhere, but no shade to anyone who does. I always joke around about giving hand jobs down by the Haw River, but so far I haven't had to do that. But I got to tell you, if you're listening to this and you don't have a job and you quit your job without getting another job, or you got fired from your job for fucking around, wake up, put your big girl and boy pants on, get out, hit the street, and don't sit around and, ask other people to support your disastrous life. Like, seriously, I'm not talking to you, and you know that. I'm talking to lazy ass motherfuckers, okay? And you are not a lazy ass motherfucker. So there.
I'm just a motherfucker.
I mean, come on. And you can totally agree, because you've had jobs that you didn't enjoy that were just drudgery.
Never.
To just pay the bills. I mean, most of us have had a lifetime of jobs that we took just to pay the bills.
Jobs that you hate and then you die.
Yeah, that's right. All right, rolling on, Cheryl.
The words of a wise woman once said, life is about working a job that you hate and then you die.
Right. So that thing about the box of chocolates, that was full of shit.
Yeah, it's not. That's what Forrest Gump
exactly.
He should have sat on that bench and said, life
is about a series of jobs.
Really hard at a job that you hate. And then you die.
Yep.
That's what Mama always said.
That's what Mama always said. What's your number 7, girl?
Here's one of mine. And I think that a lot of people, and you're going to roll your eyes, but this is seriously one of my pet peeves.
Okay.
Seriously. Who hasn't had this happen to them? When you are going to tape something and you cannot find the end of the tape. Do you know what I mean? You can't see it, and you're like going round and
trying
round,
to scratch
and you're like trying
just
to
like
see
with the toilet
in a
paper.
certain light.
Have you ever had that happen with the toilet paper, and
but
it's in the middle of the night, and it's like stuck?
You know what I do sometimes?
One-ply toilet paper is bad.
You know what I do sometimes? I just stick my finger in and I tear it, and then it'll come out. But you can't do that with Scotch tape. You can't do that. I shouldn't say Scotch. Any type of tape.
Yeah, especially that clear packing tape.
You can't do it. And you're like trying to put it in a certain light, and you're trying to get the light, the reflection to show you where that line is. That's one of my pet peeves.
It's true.
It is true. And someone's got to come up with something.
Yeah.
So I always, flip the end down when I'm done with it, but sometimes you forget, or it seals like before you have a chance to do that. Anyway, I know there's a lot of people going, oh yeah, I hate that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not finding the end of the tape.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because I send a lot of packages from eBay, and that is something I go through. And when you don't have nails, good nails to catch it, then it's
just a hot mess. It really is.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, that's a good one, Cheryl. Wow, I never thought of that.
Thank you very much.
Okay, rolling on to number 7. And this one is very personal to me, okay? I hate when people say that I don't look Asian.
Like it's a compliment?
No.
I mean, are they saying it like that?
Well,
is what
like
I'm saying?
A lot of times people will ask what ethnicity I am. And when I say that I'm half Korean, people will say, oh, you don't even look Asian. It's like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, well, do you want me to say I'm half Mexican then? Do you want me to say I'm half, I don't know, French? Like,
but they're just saying what is true. Like,
but what's interesting is 99% of the people who say that are Asian.
Okay, well, the first time I saw you at Teleport, I couldn't figure out what you were. And if you had told me, and you know what? I'm sure we had that conversation. We just don't remember. Yeah. But I'm sure when you told me you were half Korean, I probably said those exact words. Oh, you don't look Asian.
It's frustrating because I'm not.
Would you feel better if someone said, are you half Asian?
Well, it's funny because white people obviously know that I'm not white. Because if you're half any ethnicity that's not Caucasian, you do not present as white. So, like, if you're half black, if you're half Latino, if you're half Asian, if you're half Native American, if you're half anything that's of color, you present as of color. What I mean, it's frustrating because there's no country for half half people. You know what I mean? People will always refer to Barack Obama as the first black president, which is true. But remember, he was also half white. No one ever referred to him as the first half white president. And it's so interesting because he was always referred to as a black man. But remember, he's also half white. He's half and half. He had a black parent and a white parent. It's the same thing with me. I'm never referred to as being white. But yet, because I could pass for Filipino, Pacific Islander, Native American, or Hispanic, or Asian, I get everything.
So people have thought you were Hispanic?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Because I remember...
Actually, my sister, I think, looks way more Hispanic than I do.
No.
She gets it all the time.
Really?
Well, she used to. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember seeing you in the call center and wondering what ethnicity you were.
And you were like, damn, she is so fine.
Look at those shoes.
Look at those shoes. And the matching handbag with the fur. All right.
Is that really a pet peeve?
Yeah, it is a pet peeve. Especially as I get older, I'm like, I wouldn't say I was half Korean if I was half French.
No, it's not that they don't believe you. They just go, "Oh, you don't look." Why is that so?
I don't know.
Why does
I don't know.
that annoy you so much?
I think what it is I also, and it's personal to me, is because there is a lot of like ethnocentrism with different Asian
that's a
cultures.
New word. What is that? Ethnocentrism.
Well, like for example, very like home pride, for example, they're very proud of their ethnicity. So if you're only half, you're not really considered that, you know. So obviously, according to white people, I'm not white. But I'm also not considered Koreans to Korean people because I'm only half. So it's just, I find it very like, there's no country for joy, you know? It's like, so I'm like in this half and
there's
half.
There's no country for old men. There's no country for joy.
For old ladies.
Oh, you really feel like that?
Yeah, it's weird. Well, and I wasn't born in this country. So I was born in South Korea. And then, you know, so there's also that issue. And then also I don't speak Korean fluently. I speak Spanish fluently. So it's like, maybe part of it is just me like not feeling like I really identify with any specific country or culture. Because I feel like I have a lot of different countries and cultures kind of like that I've adopted. I don't know. Maybe I'm having a midlife crisis.
That's so interesting because, you know, I always think that the people that are mixed are like, it's something great about that. It's like so cool to me.
I always grew up wishing that I was full Korean.
Like a pedigree, like a dog, you're not a mutt.
Yeah. But it turns out I'm not even half Korean. I'm 45% Korean, 6% Japanese, and 49% Caucasian. So there you go. See?
So when people ask what your ethnicity is, you should say that. You should give them the breakdown. That'd be so funny.
Let me get my abacus out. Anyway, what's your number?
I don't look Korean because what's the percentage?
Right. 45%, 6%, and then 49%.
Wait, what's the Korean? 45?
45.
So that, you know what? You say, I'm 45% Korean. They go, oh, you don't look 45% Korean. You look 35% Korean.
You start telling people that I'm Barack Obama's sister.
Listen, I get, are you Chinese? Are you Filipino? I get, I don't care. But that's interesting.
That's because you're full.
Well, we don't know because I'm full of shit.
Yeah.
No, we really don't know. And one time I was in Japan, and I don't know if I offended the guy, but I can't speak Japanese, and they do not like. Well, I don't know about now in 2026, but when I went there, it was in the 90s, and I was really sheepish about going there because I heard that the Japanese people, especially the men, do not appreciate when there's a Japanese, you know, who doesn't speak Japanese. And I had I was in a commercial, and there was a guy from the U.S. with me, and then the choreographer was from the U.S. And so we had a translator and a little like guide to take us around, you know, where we're going.
Was it a robot?
Yeah. And he asked me if I considered myself American or Japanese first, and I said American. And he just said, oh, that's interesting. But I do. I consider myself American first.
One of the things that drove me bonkers when I went to South Korea was how many Asians there were. Literally.
What?
I know. I don't think I had actually thought it through that I was going to a country where everyone was going to be Asian.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. I was young. I was like 26 and I was like, God damn, there's a lot of Koreans around here. I was like, are there no white people? It was really weird. It was like an existential crisis.
Wow, that's so
Every time
funny.
I saw a white person, I wanted to follow them home. I mean, it was so bizarre.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember I felt so like, I was like, what's happening? Like, where am I? It was like Freaky Friday. I woke up and I was like, and of course I realized I was getting on a plane and going to an Asian country, but I guess my 20-something brain hadn't processed that. Anyway, what's your number 8?
So my last one, and I think that everyone can agree with this, and it's more than just a pet peeve. Calling it a pet peeve is an understatement. I have a real big
Uh-oh.
beef with the health insurance in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Our health insurance and our entire health system is stupid, dumb, crazy. It's just ridiculous.
Mental.
With a capital R. It's ridiculous. Our
Yeah.
insurance, everything is just bullshit. There,
Yeah.
that's all I have to say about that. It really is just bullshit. You pay so much for insurance, and then they come back and they're like, we don't cover this and we don't cover that. Or you've got to meet your deductible, and you've got to have
what's
your
very
copay.
similar to
and
that is car insurance.
And you, yes, no, you know what? Actually, I'm going to say any type of insurance because
Insurance, period.
auto insurance is dumb too. But you pay so much. I mean, I had someone saying she was thinking of just canceling her health insurance and just paying out of pocket because you pay the premium and then you have a deductible. So you're paying the premium and you got to reach that deductible. So you probably, I mean, you hope that you don't get in a huge accident where you have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. But then at the same time, you're like, I'm paying out of pocket every month to have this insurance, but they're not going to start covering anything until I pay X amount. So now I'm paying the monthly amount and trying to reach this deductible. And
It's crazy.
Like, I don't even want to go to the doctor, you know?
It's crazy. I mean, don't get me started. We had the Cadillac of insurance, and that has recently changed. I hope that the new insurance that we have is going to be as good, but I know the reason they switched was because the cost of the other insurance, the Cadillac insurance, was so high that the employer had to drop it. So, and then the first thing that happened was one of the doctors that I see said, I don't take that insurance. So now you have to file out of pocket. So I have to pay out of pocket for the service I receive. I then have to submit an invoice to my insurance company, filling out a form,
But
which
if
they
they're
send
not-
back multiple times because they don't like the way it's filled
Yeah.
out. And then it's bing bong, bing bong. And good
it's-
thing we don't live in Denmark because I wouldn't be allowed to send a letter. Seriously.
Well, is this doctor even a network? Then you
Nope.
have the whole
Then
in-network
the doctor's not
bullshit.
a network.
Yeah, so that's, it's more than a pet peeve.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing I'm not getting anything elective. It's a good thing that I'm not getting any cosmetic procedures. It's a good thing that no one's intending on breaking any bones or having any spleens removed because, you know, and also you can still go sell your kidney and make some money in another country. So we do have options.
Anyway, our health insurance and our
It's
health
broken.
system and auto insurance. Who came up with insurance? I need to look that up. I was wondering that the other day. Who actually started insurance?
Oh, Satan. Okay. Anyway, Cheryl, I am going to hit on my number 8, but you need to think of an honorable mention.
Okay.
Because I have an honorable mention when I'm done. Okay.
Okay.
My number 8 is, you know, the golden rule, which was do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Well, I'm going to change that golden rule and say that's obsolete. What you need to do is you need to do unto others.
Before they do it unto no.
No, you need to do unto others. Do unto others as they want you to do unto them. So in other words, find out how people want to be treated or their shit to be taken care of and do it the way they want it. So when you stay at someone's house, treat it the way the owners want you to treat it, not how you treat your own house. You know what I did one time?
She does not mean this.
Listen,
it sounds like she's directing it at me, but I promise you she's not.
Everybody wants their house to be treated a certain way. So treat it the way they want. It's their house. So I went to the thrift store once and I was volunteering and I had a group of like middle schoolers helping me or teenagers helping me. And I remember saying, you guys are going to take these clothes out of this box and you're going to hang them on these hangers and hang it on this rack like you would at home. I came back and let me just tell you, I was like, if that's what their closet looks like at home, I don't want to go to their house. It was a hot fucking mess. It was like they'd never seen a hanger or a shirt before. Shit was all backwards and not buttoned up and all cattywampus. And I was like, hangers were going this way and that way. And I was like, okay, new rule. Don't hang these up the way you would want them in your closet. Hang them up the way I tell you to hang them up and no other way. And that's how you should treat people. Don't treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat them the way they want to be treated. When you go to someone's house as a guest, find out how they take care of their home. And then if you don't like the way they want their rules, like if they don't want you eating in the bed, then
it does sound like
don't take crackers and eat them in the bed.
You guys, she's not directing this at me. Say something.
If they don't want you if they don't want you to get up at 2:00 in the morning
and do laundry.
And do fucking laundry, then don't do it.
It's not me.
And don't pretend like you didn't know when they say, because the rule is if you've known these people for your whole life and no one in that house has ever done laundry at 2 a.m, don't start. If the shoe fits,
she's whipped me into shape. I know the rules of the house, the laundry, the fridge, the pantry.
If the shoe fits, wear it, right? Yeah. Like, honestly, guys, I'm just here to say, if the shoe fits, wear it. And also that's the other part of growing up is being a goddamn adult and saying, you know what, we fucked up. We didn't take you into consideration. We walked all over your generosity and your kindness. And I understand if you never want us to come back to your house again. But instead going, oh, I didn't know. I thought that it's like, fucking shut up.
Yeah.
Like that pisses me off so much. It's like part of growing up is just like accepting that, okay, you know what? I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm going to try really hard not to do it again. But when you show up every time and do the same shit over and over, there reaches a point where people don't want to deal with your shit anymore. And they don't want you to come over. They don't want you to stay over. They don't want you to come to their party. They don't want you to come to their bar mitzvah. They don't want you to come to their quinceañera. I mean, seriously, like, you're not getting an invite to nothing.
Yeah.
No how. I don't care if I'm having my golden jubilee next week. You're not coming.
My golden jubilee.
All right. What's your honorable mention, Cheryl?
And can I just say she had guests? I just want to make that real clear. I'm not
Cheryl's all concerned.
I live here. I know the rules. Trust me, I know the rules. Also, that's why I don't shop, because I don't want to have to put anything away and get my hand slapped.
If you're Finca and you're listening to this right now, you've probably heard me go on about this for days. You're probably like, oh God, I have to hear this again.
Okay, this pet peeve is a very small thing, but I think that you can agree. I think that everybody can agree that when you have to unload dishes from the dishwasher and they're wet, and then you still have to dry them.
Well, if you leave it for like 3 hours, there is a heating unit that kicks on and it heats. No, it runs a heating component.
I don't know.
It's when it's done and you hear the water stop that you open it. You're not supposed to.
Yeah, no, but even not just here at your place, every dishwasher that I've come across.
You know whose doesn't? John and Vinca's. their heating component is so hot that you can burn your hand taking stuff out of the dishwasher.
But I think that's why I don't.
It's dry as a bone when you get in there.
That's what she said. But I think that no one really likes unloading the dishwasher. Loading it, fine, right? Because it's as you're using it.
I don't like loading it or unloading it.
I don't like unloading it, but I think that's why. If I could just take the stuff out, and they weren't dripping, and I didn't have to take the extra step to wipe it with a towel, I think that would be. It would make a huge difference.
And I'll add on to that. We have something in our cabinetry that if you set wet stuff on it, it bubbles.
Oh yeah,
the wood, and so you can't put anything wet on our cabinets.
Well, you shouldn't be putting
stuff.
it away wet.
Well, it shouldn't warp it. Come on, what is this made out of IKEA?
You know that if you put wet stuff on wood, it's going to warp. Okay, that I knew.
I think they should make cabinets out of tile then, or cement.
Anyway, I think it would make unloading a dishwasher much more of an enjoyable experience if you didn't have to wipe them off. That's all I'm saying.
I am here to tell you that my honorable mention is mildew smell. Oh, yeah. I can't stand mildew smell. And anybody who has hugged someone who's wearing mildew smell clothes. Once one of my kids' friends left a hoodie in my car and I had to deep clean my car. It stayed in there for like a weekend before I realized it because I didn't drive from like Friday to Sunday. And when I got in my car, my whole car smelled like mildew. I had to take out the piece of clothing. I had to like deep clean my car and buy a bunch of air fresheners. It had gone into the upholstery. It was so pervasive. And I will tell you,
was it damp?
I don't know, but it was awful. And what I will say is this. When you don't take your clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer and you leave them for like 2 days or whatever, that's how the mildew smell gets it. And in a humid environment like where we live in spring, summer, and fall, it gets really bad here. So you have to like be on top of it. I also took a couple things to dry cleaners and they came home mildewy and I took them right back. I was like, I can't wear this. It reeks. And they didn't charge me and they re-cleaned them. But it's just, I know people who smell mildewy on the regular. And I know a kid who I had in class who smelled mildewy on the regular. And I know why, because he did his own laundry. And so he just would wash the clothes, leave them for like a week until he needed clean clothes and then throw them in the dryer. And he reeked to high heaven.
I hate
and
that
it was
smell.
Gross.
Yeah, like a sponge that hasn't dried well.
Yeah, and I know that some people, it doesn't bother them.
Oh, no.
But the smell it actually turns my stomach, that smell.
Yeah.
Anywho, you guys, if you made it to the end of this and you haven't started thinking about your long list of pet peeves, then that is a real crime. But you know what else is a crime?
What's that, Joy?
That we are out of time.
That is a crime. Well, thank you for listening, everyone, and don't complicate your day. All creativity, commentary, and opinions in this podcast belong to Cheryl and Joy. Music composed and mixed by Gabe McKeon. Logo and merch managed by Cheryl Yamaguchi. Podcast editing, advertising, and social media managed by Joy McKeon. Legal representation provided by John Bojezic. Please like, subscribe, follow, and listen. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible.com, Amazon Music, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And remember, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok, or you can email us at murderandeverythingelse@gmail.com.
Bye, fishes.